Yo, what's up everyone, Closer here and welcome back to another video on Steven Universe Unleashed the Light. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing another character build video because the last one surprisingly did very well. I wasn't expecting it to do so well, but it did. And it was honestly shocking how well it did. So, for today's video, I will be doing a build on the character Garnet. Because I said that in the last video when I was doing the Greg one, that I'd either be doing Garnet or Bismuth. And well, I've decided to do Garnet for this video today. Oh my goodness, I'm really short on breath right now, hold on. Whew. Yeah. Also, I recently completed the Roses rooms as well, because I recently did one run on that, and it was very difficult. Technically, I beat 2 runs, but in the first run I almost beat, I died, and the final boss was just 1 hit away, and I was also 1 hit, so yeah, I ran out of star points and then lost. I was severely pissed off after that. But if I'm going to explain the build for Garnet in the game, I would say that for the teams for her, it's kind of just going to be the same as the Greg team, to be honest, because she can kind of just go with any character, really, because she's just broken. Can I go over here and check the parts off? Yeah. So some characters she would go well with is Amethyst, because she can put the burn effect on enemies, and then Garnet can also put a burn effect on enemies when she does a perfect block, which means you could be stacking up burn on the enemies, and she can also stun the enemies and paralyze them as well. I'll show that a bit later. I don't really know any other characters. You could put Connie in because she can attack multiple enemies, and I think if she hits multiple enemies, it takes a star point off her next move, or that's Pearl. And Peridot would also work well, but the only thing you'd be using her for is her little droids that she can use. My brain is not working very well today, so this video might not be as good as the last one because I don't actually know, in fact. But let's see. Because for the Greg one, I knew more about what I was saying because I used him the most. But I forgot that in the last video when I was doing the Greg one, I actually forgot to show his charms. So here's like the charms that I had equipped him. I mean, you could equip any charm as long as you equip your most powerful charms to the character you want to use the most. But make sure you're trying to balance it between, like, because Steven and Greg use the same charms. Apart from the t-shirt, I think you would want to try and give them the charms that would best suit them. So now I'll show Garnet, okay? So this is what I've given her, right? These are the charms I've given her. I've obviously given her charms that end up giving her high luck. I gave her luck because she has this ability where she lands a lucky strike, it'll paralyze the opponent. Then high attack, and I don't know why I gave her HP for that actually. She doesn't really need HP as much because she can get up to 200 HP. And then I gave her these goggles here that give her defense because she's a tank pretty much. She can tank any hit. And the badges that I gave her was, let's see the badges. I gave her this badge because whenever she gets a perfect block, which she will, because most of the time whenever I use this character, I mainly make it so that she lures all the enemies to attack her, so then all the enemies are going to be attacking her, and when she gets a perfect block, you're pretty much just filling up the teamwork bar very fast, and if you're using Greg's guitar ability that allows them to fill up teamwork, it's even faster. And Onion's badge, which means whenever you get a perfect block, you're going to burn the enemies. Which again goes with the whole her being a defender type thing. And it just works really well. And the costumes, well, the costumes don't matter as much. But if you want to see the costumes, here's the costumes that you can get her. I liked using this one. And I think I gave her this one because... yeah, this is why I gave her this one as well. Because obviously all the enemies are going to be attacking her every turn. You want her to have this. Definitely. If you don't have that costume yet, it doesn't matter as much because it's just a small thing, but it's helpful. Because the Made of Love thing just makes it so she can regenerate all her HP. And now for the main bit, the upgrades. I'm actually going to change this up, but all of these are good abilities, but I want to change it up so that I could have either an attack rally or a survival rally. They don't really matter, to be honest, because most of the time your characters are going to be surviving unless you're like, I don't know, because most of the time whenever I use this team, none of my characters really die. So I've given her, this doesn't really matter as much. This was probably, let's see, that's very helpful because when you end up having to fight the Squaredots, which is the Peridot robots, they shoot projectiles, and whenever you deflect the projectiles with either a perfect or regular block, you can send them back, and then eventually you'll deal damage to them. And then the counterattack stance, which is basically what we're going to be using her for, once you do a block or a perfect block at the end, she will attack, and if she defeats the enemy, which most of the time she will do that, you've ended up just basically getting more star points back. And the leadership is a really good ability, stable's good, and this one is, let's see, and that's just good because it gives you the armor pack. I don't really remember. I know that my build for her was very good. It's just I'm trying to remember roughly because it has been like a week since I've played this game again. And the rest of these are just all like attack buff type things, and this one's really good. Okay, that one is really good because the big teamwork buff, along with the fact that she's getting teamwork every time she gets a perfect block, if you've got that badge equipped, the teamwork one, then that's just even better, and that's obviously for the fusion between her and Steven, which is also really good early game. And the electric punch, this is the best ability, in my opinion, that you could get for her, is this. This is the one where every time you land a lucky hit, you are paralysing your enemy. It is very good and very useful, and now I'm going to show off some of what she can do in combat. So we'll start here. You've already seen it in the Greg video pretty much what she was capable of, but I'm going to show it anyway. So as usual, whenever I use this team, I would start with Bismuth, and I would try and get that ability that allows them to make all the moves only cost 1 star point.
Open for business. Coming right up.
There we go, I did it instantly straight away, and this is the reason why. Now, behold, if she doesn't one-shot this enemy, then... Okay, she didn't get the lucky hit, sadly, but you would want to do this usually. You would give her the gauntlets so that she can then, like, deal damage when she blocks. Then you would want to tease your enemy. There's not enough enemies here for this, so I'm not going to waste a star point doing this, but you would usually want to tease your enemies now by doing this, but instead, we're just going to continue attacking them, and you want to get guys like this. You want to make sure you paralyse any enemies like that, because if that enemy there gets in the air, you're not going to be able to hit him with any physical characters. I mean, the only characters that would be able to hit enemies like that is Greg and Steven. And Greg usually does a decent amount of damage, but Steven not as much. And then you would just want to finish off any tough opponents, like, for example, the big armor guys, like the guys who've got like the big arm, the big shield, the big spear, and they're in a full knight armor. Those guys can be very annoying to take out because they have that much armor as it's just difficult to chip away their health. So if you paralyze those enemies with Garnet's Lucky Strike, then you're just going to be able to finish them off instantly. And it just makes it so much easier. Okay, and now it's time for the second turn. So if you feel like your teammate's going to die, then... If you feel like she's going to die, then just move her around. She won't die, obviously. I'm just doing this to show it. And then you can just do this. And notice how the teamwork bar is already so much built. Like, the teamwork bar is just getting filled up really fast, and then you can just do this to fill it up even more. So this is just really, really good. It's really helpful for, like... It's just amazing, honestly. And then, of course, you've got the... Of course, you have this move, which can do a ton of damage if you're using Bismuth. This move when you're using the Garnet and Steven fusion, and then this is just if you need everyone to get a quick heal, which you probably won't even have to do. And then you can just, like... She's pretty much just like a one-man army type thing. She can just tank everything. I remember I used her once to try and beat Rose's room, and it was very good. I used her and Bismuth for it, and it was fun. Oh well, this is really not spawning a lot of enemies, are they? I think after I defeat these guys, I'll try and like go into an area that's got like lots of enemies. So if I put her here, I think, yeah, so whenever she's like in the front line here, like at the front of the battlefield, she will get an armor boost, which means she'll have like more defense and be able to tank attacks even more. So you've essentially got 2 tanks in your team, Bismuth and Garnet. And now for this part of the ability. We'll start again by using business thing, his forge ability, then we'll do this and it didn't work first try this time, but we'll tease this enemy here, get him to come for us, then we'll do this. Okay, that was a bit stupid actually what I did there. What I should have actually done there is I should have actually attacked that guy, made sure to paralyse him, because now he's going to go into the air and we won't be able to hit him. He'll be fine anyway, because I'll just finish him off using Greg's guitar attack. And this is what happens when you get a perfect block with Onion's badge. That enemy has now just got burn effect from her move. And now, in case that does happen, you can just use the guitar attack on the enemy. And then I'm gonna finish this enemy off. Alright, now that that enemy is paralysed, I'm just gonna use Steven's shield ability to attack this enemy. And hopefully kill it. I don't think he's dying from this attack. No, definitely not. No, he's not dying. That's the one attack I actually can't dodge in this game. I can dodge every other attack except from that one. I don't know why that's the only one I can't dodge, but I just can't. But anyway, apart from that, that's pretty much some of the basic things you can do with her, and why I think she can be a good character, and why she's helpful in this game.
Feeling this tomorrow.
And I suppose, seeing how I've got like 3 more minutes, I could like select the different characters now that Greg's dead. Oh, he's back actually. I don't know if Lapis would be good. I mean, she could be good, because like, she could use that move where she creates like ice shards above her, and then every time you attack with Garnet, the ice shards would be attacking the enemy as well. And then that'd just be the same case for someone like Peridot. As long as she's got like as long as she's got that build where she can paralyze and something that allows her to burn the enemy, and then she can also like do a ton of damage and tank, she's fine. And then as long as there's like a teammate who can like keep her alive, and then a teammate who can like help her by weakening the enemies and slowly killing them as well, it's the right team. But for my next video, it will probably be a build on Bismuth, and do not be shocked if I'm using the same team for that build as well, because this team I've got is a really good team that I've made. But the next video after the one with Bismuth will probably be one where I use Connie, because she's another good character in this game that I love to use, and she's very good as well. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was very helpful, and I am going to continue making videos on this series, because I think this is a good series I'm making, and I honestly think there needs to be more videos on this game on how to build characters and that, because I haven't really seen very many videos like that on YouTube. It's usually just videos of people like showing cool stuff to do with the game and like clips of it, but apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.